So this is a game played between the great Paul Morphy and his opponent Jabez Carr. It's played in 1858, so it's an old game, but it's an interesting game, so we'll have a look at it. Morphy played pawn to e4, his opponent replied pawn to h6. So this opening, I think, is named after this player, the Carr opening. It's not a good opening at all. It doesn't fight for center control, doesn't aid in development in any way. So this is definitely against Morphy's style. You would never catch him playing such a move. So Morphy now played pawn to d4, which is a good move. It creates a strong center. And Black played pawn to a5. So it's another strange flank pawn move. It would be better to play something like pawn to e6 and try to fight for central control. So after pawn to a5, Morphy played bishop to d3, was developing, and Black played pawn to b6. So it's obvious that Black is trying to fight for control from the flanks. He's not directly competing in the center. So it's interesting how Morphy how he combats this strategy, which is quite common strategy people use. So Morphy played knight to e2. He didn't play knight to f3, and the reason is he wants to leave this f pawn free so it can advance up the board. Now Black here played pawn to e6, and Morphy continued to castle kingside. Black played bishop to a6 with the plan of exchanging the light squared bishops. So Morphy played a good move. He played pawn to c4 to stop this plan, increasing center control. Now Black developed knight to f6, and Morphy immediately took the initiative with pawn to e5 threatening the knight. So knight must retreat. Black played knight to h7. So White's got a very good position. If after pawn e5, say, Black had played knight to g4, then this knight would be lost after pawn to h3. There's no escape square for the knight. There's no safe square anymore. So if we go back to the game after knight to h7, Morphy played pawn to f4. Now Black continued bishop e7. Morphy played knight to g3. It's a very good move. Morphy has a liking for moves which accomplish two goals at the same time. So two pieces are improved here. The knight's improved, and also the queen has a much better diagonal. So it's a very strong move. Now Black does start playing better moves here. He plays pawn to d5, which is a good idea to fight for center control. Eventually Black's on the right path. He's threatening pawn takes on c4. But Morphy's already got a very strong position. He played queen to g4, which threatens the pawn on g7. Black here castled, which castled into the attack somewhat. So let's look at another variation. If, say, pawn takes on c4, Black carries out its threat. White play queen takes on g7. If pawn takes on d3, queen takes on h8. So White would win the exchange and likely win the game. So after Black castled, Morphy played a very strong move. He played knight to h5, which threatens mate on the g7 square here. So Black must do something about this move immediately. So he played pawn to g5. If he played pawn to g6, then this would lose to bishop takes on g6, f takes g6, queen takes g6, king to h8, queen g7 checkmate. So you can see just how effective and how well coordinated White's pieces are working here. So he didn't play pawn g6, he played pawn to g5, and after f takes on g5, this opens up the line, f line for the rook. Now Black played pawn takes g5. If he played, say, knight takes on g5, this knight will be lost after pawn to h4, and there's a pin against the king, so that'll lose a piece. So Black instead played pawn takes on g5. Now White, Morphy here played bishop takes h7, which destroys Black's defending knight, and Black played king to h8. Didn't take the bishop back. Let's have a look, see what happened if he had king takes h7. After knight to f6 check, bishop takes f6, rook to f6, rook takes f6. White's got a winning mate in attack. For example, rook to h8, queen to h5, king to g8, queen takes on f7, and that's checkmate. That's just one of the lines here, but the attack is extremely strong and black doesn't really have any realistic defenses. So black played king to h8, but now Morphy is a whole piece up and he's got a very strong attack still, so the game is effectively over. We'll just play the last few moves quickly. White played knight to f6, black played pawn takes on c4, Morphy played bishop to c2. Now black exchanged queens, queen takes on d4, which looks like a crazy move at first after queen takes on d4, but actually black can get the queen back, bishop to c5. Morphy takes on c5, and pawn takes on c5. So now Morphy is two minor pieces up, so the game is effectively over. Morphy played bishop takes on g5, now knight to c6, Morphy played rook to f3, with the idea of moving this rook to the h line. Black's with check, so black played king to g7 to stop this. And Morphy played a very special move here, bishop to h6. After king takes on h6, it's a mating attack still, even though the queens are off the board. Rook to h3 check. Black played king g5. If you played king to g7, this would be mate after rook to h7 checkmate. So black played king to g5. White continues his attack. Rook to h5 check. King to f4. Morphy played a great move here. King to f2. So threatening pawn to g3, threatening this pawn move here. Black played rook to g8 to stop this, but after g3 check, rook takes g3, pawn takes g3, it's checkmate.